clues. I was in a hurry. I was 2 guys short. It was summertime. I had customers lined up to the street, and I panicked, and this rather scraggly looking individual walked in off the street and said, I need a job fixing cars. Got any background? Well, I worked in a gas station a couple of summers ago. You got any tools? A few. And I said, well, I'm hurting. I'll give you a try. Bad mistake. Ever since I did that, ever since I did that, I've learned when they come in like that I go out in the parking lot, whether they see me do it or not, and take a look at what they're driving. Because had I done that on this occasion with this individual, I could have saved myself and my company a great deal of grief. Another clue that probably I overlooked, although I had a funny premonition, was when he walked in with one of these little lunchbox toolboxes that you buy for $19 at Sears, and it mostly contained hammers and screwdrivers and a Stilson wrench. That was a good clue. And after about 2 days of a number of strange things happening in his vicinity of the shop, I walked by the old rough pickup truck that he came to work in, and as I glanced through the window of the driver's door, I noticed that there was no nut holding on the steering wheel. It was a pair of vice grips. And my worst nightmares came true. You talk about Elm Street. It took me about 3 months to get done with the comebacks that this man generated in only 4 days working in my store. No, I don't hire people off of the street. I got taught not to. And I think all of us can relate a bad experience with something like that. You don't do that with today's customers. And this experience I just related to you was way back in the 1960s, and it was a horror story back then. And cars certainly are a lot more complex today than they were way back then. Something else that was going through my mind as I've listened all day long, most of you know I've been here all week teaching automatic transmission courses to a number of different people. And on Monday, over in the Noble Center, in the linkage part of the building that we have used so many, many years since it was first built for that purpose, Mr. Doty brought a nice young lady by to meet me and introduce her to me. And she mentioned to me that she was preparing to write her doctoral dissertation and was very interested in the ongoing linkages that are being established all over the country between industry and education. But she was particularly curious about the outstanding things that she knew about the Toyota T10 program and would like to use us as the subject of her research. And would we be interested in cooperating with her in that endeavor? And all I can say is, lady, you blew it. Because had you been in this room today, you'd know all of the secrets from the inside out. She couldn't be here, but I think you've heard what it takes to make T10 tick. And it's a team effort. If we haven't proved that to you, you must have been sleeping. It takes the work of an awful lot of good people, hard work, sometimes beyond the job, on your own time, your own initiative, your own effort. It takes good instructors, it takes good technicians, it takes good service managers, and it takes good candidates. And we have to go find them, and we have to bring them up the way we need them brought up. We have the premier program in the country, and I think you know why. I hope you're as proud of T10 as I obviously am, and all of the staff here on the campus, and Mr. Archambault as well. Do you have any other questions on anything pertaining to T10 that we can handle with you here before we go?
One thing I'd like to know, right now, each semester or each 2-year period, how many are going through this T10 program here locally, and what percentage of them are getting 2 years? What's the dropout rate?
The real nice thing about this program being 7 semesters long, all students go through 5 semesters together as kind of the core before they really make a final decision on T10. So by the time they get to the end of the semester 5, we know they're going to be a technician something. Now when Terry, Fred, and Jerry make a presentation about T10, if they say, I want to be a T10 student, they're really committed. So the dropout rate when we get to that point is 0. We shall lose.
And how many can y'all actually teach each semester?
Yeah.
Are you limited?
Huh?
Are you limited, to?
Well, we're only limited by what our experience tells us a class size can be before it gets to the point where all students don't get the right kind of attention. you know, and we have room to grow. We can take in some more students. We're okay. You know, in the whole program, you got what, about 16 now?
Right now.
But see, they're all in different semesters, kind of getting down to where they're finally going to get into T10, so all 16 won't hit at the same time.
We have 16 that have made the right choice, and about 160 they're still waiting.
Other questions? Well, it's been quite a day. Oh, go ahead.
I'm going to make a comment. Gary had asked me earlier, I thought he was going to ask me to say something, so I've been thinking. I was here the last meeting we had with the Service Manager Advisory. The first time I've ever been here, other driving through and just knowing this was just a place here in Okmulgee. After sitting through and listening to Steve present this program and everything last time, I knew in my mind that when I went back to Tulsa, if I could get somebody down here, they would go to school here. You know, I was so with the scholarship. You know, I went back to Tulsa with a piece of paper. That's what it was at that time for me. I didn't know what to do with it. You know, I didn't know how much effort it was going to take to do something with it. Found out it didn't take that much. Made one simple phone call to the Tulsa Technology Center. So I've got this piece of paper over here, and it was, you know, it just drew right through the line. So if there's anybody that's having a problem or maybe doesn't think it's that important, a simple phone call surprised me. It surprised me. It's turned into more than just one. It's turned into 3 in a roundabout way, and it's a good program, and it's needed, and it's wanted. I mean, that's the biggest thing. It's wanted, and there's a desire out there for kids that want it.
In 1992, the national offices of T10 in Torrance, California began to be concerned that we were in the process of getting a new Toyota president nationwide, Mr. Yale Giesel. And the T10 program was a big budget item, and he didn't know much about it, and they sure didn't want him line item vetoing the program because he thought it was a cute way to cut some money out of our budget, and that there was a real need to demonstrate to him just what T10 was and what it was doing for us. And they looked at all of the campuses, 60 some odd campuses that they had in operation in the United States, and picked this campus to prototype to him what this program is all about at its finest. And we had an open house down here that none of us will certainly ever forget. The preparations were absolutely extensive, and all I can say to you, if you weren't here, we blew them away. And as so many of us have over the years, if we had had any reason to commute between Tulsa and Houston, we've just zipped up and down Highway 75. Okmulgee's just a stop in the road for the truck drivers, right? Never gave it a thought, never had a clue that this incredible campus was out here, never had any reason to know. And we brought the very top brass of Toyota in here and landed them up at the airport and brought them down here the next morning in a fleet of Previas. And I know as they rolled down through the countryside and all those horse ranches and the open land between here and Tulsa that they were a little perplexed as to where in the world are you taking us. And there was a lot of interesting conversation going on in those cars. And all of a sudden we rolled into this campus, and they could see that water tower for about 3 miles away as we came around the loop. And we didn't say a lot about it, but we made sure that we came in from the front. And as we rolled in with these dignitaries in this vehicle, here's a bright red pair of Toyotas sitting up on the top of that enormous water tower, and everything on this campus says, "Welcome Toyota." The governor flew in and helped with a presentation, and we had quite an impressive day. And they talked about it all the way back to California on the company jet, and they still do. This campus literally put T10 on the map nationally. And Toyota will be ever grateful to you for that. And the program that we have here is impressive. Everything clicks. You've seen a lot of evidences of that today. I'm thrilled that you took the time out of your busy schedule to be here. I know every one of you had something else you could be doing. And so with that, if we don't have any further comments or questions, why, Fred?
I got one.
Okay.
I want to do a promo here. Y'all need to write down June 7th on your calendar, please. Okay? June 7th. That's a Tuesday. That will be the next Service and Parks Club meeting in Oklahoma City. Watch your terminals for the time. I think it's 12 o'clock. The reason I'm asking you to do this now is that Gary Kirchhoff will be there to explain the new index and how to do appeals. So we'll have a screen up in front of him so he won't get hit with tomatoes. So please be there because it's going to be really important to you. And Gary really is excited about coming. So please be there.
I tried to call it Lee yesterday, the first meeting. I tried to call Lee, then we got a call back from him.
He works with him. So yeah.
I called him.
Gentlemen, I just want to leave you with just one last thought as we go. And of course, if you're interested in a tour of the automotive facilities, then Steve and Jerry certainly are available, and myself, and we can handle that as well. If you've never had a chance to see them, it doesn't take but a few minutes, but I think, again, you'll be overwhelmed with some of the things that you'll see. I want to thank you for your participation and your attendance. Hopefully, we've not wasted your time, and that you're going out of here with a much better comprehensive view of what T10 is trying to do, and your involvement in it, and what we're going to try to do with it together for the future. I want to leave just this one last little thought in your mind. What if I bought a brand new car, and nobody could fix it? We'll see y'all the next time.
Hey, Bill, you said you worked with him?
Thanks for coming.
I called yesterday. Before the meeting. That was yesterday, and he never, they said when he came in, he never did call back. So I just assumed.
You betcha. You betcha.
You know, the thing is,
Yeah. If we didn't have enough of this, but we